Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to the weekly review special for week 6 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week I brought in 4,341 points, exactly 300 points higher than a week ago, but still right about 300 points short of our best round score of 46.48, which was nearly 1 year ago, week 8 last year. Current virtual best at 4,413, up a bit from last week's 41.65, and the all-time virtual best is unchanged at 89.03. Break down the series individually. PCM 20 in the career mode, 703 points, finally surpassing that 635 that we set quite a few seasons ago, but it was also the end of the current season, so I was pretty confident that we would top 700. I was also pretty confident we wouldn't top 750. We'd be closer to the 700 end. I was hoping for a little more than 3 points over the mark, but at least we got over the mark. It was definitely a good season, and we're headed for another good season as we're actually staying in the World Tour. Next season's another matter. We'll see how that one goes, as 2 of our top 3 have expiring contracts, and 1, if not both, are going to be demanding a ton of money. Pablo Rodriguez ended up winning Rider of the Season, hence the tons of money that he's going to be looking for. In the Champion Series, nearly doubled our total, 81 points now. Again, Season 1, we managed all of 6 points. Season 2, we already have 81. We're past the National Championships, though, so the season will wrap up relatively soon. I think we'll get over 100, but only just. It's the seasons to come, because the development is finally getting there to where they are going to start being fairly competitive. But we're also likely going to be moving up a division, and then it's going to get tougher, so we'll see how that balances out. In the Women's Tour, 130 points now, also climbing, improving. Vanderpeet and Donaden are our core, but neither one of them has any interest in re-signing with the team, and there's nothing that I can do about that because they're beyond our reach. Improving our reach is the big focal point of the season, and I'm not entirely sure how that works. I went in depth on today's episode on that, about how does that team reputation improve? What does that? Does it happen from race victories? Does it happen from your rider's reputation? Does it happen from your rider's ability? Does it happen from your ranking? I mean, there's so many variables, and which one determines your team reputation? Not sure. Is it a combination? Not likely. The way the game is structured, generally things are focused in on one key part, and they're all determined from one key part. But then in the grand scheme, you get all that overlap. But on the individual basis, they're almost always simplistic. They're always based off of one thing. So I'm hoping that it's results for the year on a whole, and that come next season we'll have drastically improved our reputation, as this season, as you can see based on the score, we have improved a lot. In FM21, the worst first series, came to the end of a season, 119 points, and we did it. We went from 4th place to winning. We had a great run towards the end of the season, and the improved facilities, the full-time, better coaching really started to add up, and the development increased rapidly. And that rapid increase in development took us from definitely not good enough to oh yeah, we're good enough, and we started winning a lot of matches and winning comfortably, and it just climbed up over those top teams who themselves weren't losing much, but just a little. And because we weren't losing at all, we were able to overtake them and win. Right on the penultimate day of the season, we went from 2nd place to the lead and actually claiming the title, all in that same match. In Zero to Hero, though, total opposite. So we've had successive seasons with promotion, and it was winning the league, and then all of a sudden it was second promoted via playoff again, and then we just missed the playoffs by 1 point this season. So you could see that we were kind of leveling off, right? The curve was leveling off, and that we were starting to top out a bit, and something needs to happen to kind of get to the next stage, the next level. And that's been the case. And now Not only did we end the season on 312 points without a trophy, without even a promotion playoff appearance, but then we're now starting the next season in total disarray. Morale is terrible, and that's the problem. That is why we're kind of topping out, is we've hit a high enough division that eyes are on us and awareness is there that we have good young talent. Everybody wants that good young talent for themselves. They want to take it away from us, and the good young talent is like, do I want to play in the 5th tier, or do I want to go play for a championship club in the 2nd tier? Oh, I like that idea. That's good for my career progress. And so their morale is low. Kind of caught in this double-edged sword of we can't improve very well because we've improved too much. I know. It's weird. Ends up making sense. Morale is low because they want something more than they're getting at our level. And because morale is low, they're playing like garbage. And so we can't quite find the balance of getting morale where it needs to be so that they can actually go out and perform like the team they're capable of performing like. When I figure that one out, we'll start climbing that ladder again. For now, we're kind of stalled in the 5th tier. Gladiator Manager, things are going well. So we went from 3rd place at the start of the season, and then we were kind of just comfortably locked right in at 3rd place. But then we stayed steady all season long. And other teams had fighters come and go, had fighters that went from being really, really amazing to expired contracts or got injured and dropped down. Myself, on the other hand, yes, Elia took on a couple injuries over the course of the season, but was in a place where we had alternatives. I was able to grab alternatives, and we kept going. So our 4-to-1, 5-to-1 win ratio was consistent throughout the season. Now, at the very end of the season, I only lost one of the last 13, 14 matches, and so actually I improved that rate. For the most part, we were pretty consistent all season long. The big difference was that the others faded and we didn't. And so we went from 3rd to 2nd, and then we closed in on 1st, and then we overtook 1st fairly late, and then we actually stretched the lead right at the end and won somewhat comfortably. So we got promoted. We're heading to Division 4 for season number 2. Really excited for that. Things are going very well in that series. In terms of the all-time virtual best, no change in the top 10. Of course, Empire of Sin was retired very suddenly a couple weeks ago, and so it stayed at 10th place. PCM 20 career mode made a nice jump, got to the 700 point mark, but right now that's good enough for 12th place. Gladiator Manager jumps over Zero to Hero and moves up 10 spots, 39th to 29th, with exactly 100 points more than it had a week ago. Zero to Hero moved up as well, but it actually technically moved up 1 place. It moved up 2 and went back 1 with Gladiator Manager going, so it went from 38th to 37th. That's going to do it for this review special, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful week, everybody. I am starting my new Zwift series this week, and I'm really stoked for it for a couple of reasons. But one of them, it's the most ambitious project that I've done in terms of money spent just to get it going. I mean, it was over $1,000 just to get it going. And if you know anything about what a YouTuber earns on a channel this size, that's a lot of money to spend, and that's definitely not money that I'm bringing in at this point. It's something for my health and fitness that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm a numbers guy, and I've got it set up in a numbers way, and I think it's going to go really well if the audience embraces it. So be sure to check that out as I get started on my Zwift series this week. And that's it for me. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.